Abbie, welcome to the Staffordshire FA team. Your role now, obviously, is volunteer coordinator, female growth. Can you talk to us your background in sport? Obviously, we know heavily involved in rugby, but if you can explain to everyone listening what your background in sport is, and particularly rugby.
Yeah, obviously a different shaped ball to what it kind of is now. But yeah, no, so I have been playing rugby since I was 6. Been playing a long time. I did club, county, regional, and then got picked up when I was 19 to play for the Red Roses, 15-a-side, did a Six Nations campaign, and then the head coach was like, do you want to come and try sevens? Which is obviously a different version of the 15-a-side game. And yeah, kind of never looked back, I guess. And have gone to some pretty cool places, represented my country almost 50 times on the World Series. So yeah, there's been a lot going on between then and now. And yeah, kind of sevens and rugby has been my main focus, I guess, for the last decade or so.
Definitely. You mentioned it started at the age of 6. Was that something that's been drilled into you from family? Are they involved in that fact as well?
Yeah, so my brother used to play, and I think I was like that kind of kid that always wanted to do what my brother did. I wasn't necessarily the academic type at school growing up. I just loved sport. I loved doing all kinds of sport. My mum and dad both volunteered at the local rugby club. We were heavily involved in the rugby club where I grew up and were there for many years. And yeah, I absolutely loved it there. It was so cool. It had such a family feel to it. I knew everybody. And yeah, even one of my shirts is now hanging up in the club, which is pretty cool. And to always go back to and see it. So yeah, it was kind of a family, but no one my mum and dad never forced me to do anything. It was more just, I was like, I want to give that a go.
Ace, you've said the shirt is now hanging up in the club. That must be something special for you and the family too. Now, you said you've represented England and the Red Roses 50 times now. Also, you're a 2-time Olympian and also 2-time Commonwealth Games athlete. Now, I want to touch on the Olympian side of things, particularly with Rio. I think, if I remember rightly, is that the first time they inducted rugby sevens?
Yeah.
So for you to be the first of a few that were obviously out there to be involved in that, yeah. How was that for you?
Oh, it was crazy. It was such a surreal experience. I was only 20 at the time as well, which super young. I look back now and I think I was, it was crazy. And to be a part of that and just kind of having an understanding of what the girls went through to even get to that point, and everything that went on behind the scenes. I don't think I fully appreciated it at the time. And I think only looking back now, I'm like, oh, how much they've actually gone through off pitch, but also qualifying and how they represented themselves as GB. And obviously we go to Olympics as Team GB. You're not. We used to be England Sevens, so that was really cool. And one of my best mates, who's still my best mate, Jazz Joyce, she's a Welsh contingent, so she, it was really cool and really special to do that with her as well. And yeah, like you said, to be the first to go and play rugby sevens at Olympics was, again, something that I now look back on and is like, okay, that was really cool.
I think it's probably one of them things at the time, as you say, you look back at it now and you think it's bigger than it was at the time. You get the call up to go and represent GB, but it's one of those. Off that then, I mean, you've had a successful career in rugby. What inspired you to take up this role, particularly around the female growth in volunteering here in Staffordshire in the grassroots game?
Yeah, so I'm based near Loughborough, and I kind of lost some funding with sevens. I also was then kind of looking for something else to do, and I seen this role, and the main kind of focus that it drew me to was the female growth. I'm really passionate about getting more females into any kind of sport. So no matter if it's rugby, football, tennis, whatever it is, I think there's such a drive for it at the moment, and a real backing from a lot of sports and unions to get more females involved. But I just kind of saw it as a bit of an opportunity, and something that it's probably a little bit outside my comfort zone. I don't know football half as much as how I know rugby, but that really excites me because hopefully I can bring what I know and have learnt as an athlete into this role and kind of look at it through a different lens. And no, I don't always understand what teams are out there and what teams you guys support, but hopefully I can get to know that.
You sort of just answered my next question. I was about to say what excites you most about this position, but you mentioned that the experience you've had in rugby and from also your family volunteered, you said down the local club and things, sort of how important is volunteering then to not just football but in sport to keep the game alive?
Oh, it's super important. Like they're the people that I think, when I really think about volunteering or how you kind of view it, everyone thinks you have to be, 20 hours really volunteering. But it's not even about that. It's just about the community and having a sense of belonging. And I think that's something that I hope to bring to this role of actually creating a bit more of a community where perhaps, and I think football has a similar stigma to rugby in that it has always been predominantly a male-dominant sport, and hopefully something that's can also help change and kind of allow people to be themselves. I think that's super important, be authentic, but also create that kind of environment where females feel they belong and the sense of pride with that as well. So yeah, I think volunteering is an amazing thing. Like if it's personal, and everyone has different reasons for doing it, everyone has a different why and purpose to what they do. And I guess if I can just touch on some of that for different people, or even one person, two people, that would be really cool. And just kind of build something that's bigger than just like them, or think that I'm just making, I don't know, a cup of tea. Well, yeah, but that's still really, really important, and the impact that person has, and kind of championing them, however big or however little their job title might be.
Most definitely, and whilst it is heavily focused on the women's game, your role is also across the board in volunteers. But on that as well, I think volunteers, we know they go above and beyond, but particularly from the women's game and the Euros and obviously back-to-back winners, the Lionesses were, there's probably no better time as a female to get stuck in and get involved. So what would you say to somebody who's umming do they get involved in volunteering? What would your message to them be?
I think just try it. Be courageous, be brave, and try it. And you might think you're the only one or the only female in the room, but before you know it, you won't be. And I think sometimes you've got to be that role model to kind of stand out. But I think I'm a believer in this in most walks of life, but you've got to try something. And if you don't like it, then it might not be the right role for you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that volunteering is not for you. And I think there's a place for everyone. I think that's what's amazing about sport in general, is that there's always a place for somebody. So no matter where you come from, no matter what you look like, all those kind of things. So actually there will be something out there for people, and like I said, the community and the sense of belonging that you can probably bring, and the friends you'll find through sport is amazing. I mean, I've literally made some of my best friends through sport, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that's not in a coaching role, playing role, whatever it is. You will find people that are very like-minded to you, and probably create another friendship group that you never knew that you needed.
Sure. Well, listen, thank you for your time. It was a brief introduction, so everyone listening who will tune into this, it's a brief introduction who Abbie is and obviously what she's bringing to the role here in Staffordshire.